Hey everyone, my name's Samuel Burmeister and I'm the Head of Technical Development here at AAT. Today's webinar, I'm going to take you through STP and give you a great overview of that and answer some curly questions that we got on the webinar the other day. This is a re-recording to make sure we get a really clear view of all the notes and make sure that you know everything available for you in the resources with AAT. So to kick it off, what I've got here is our homepage. If you head to the member resources section when you're signed in, under templates and checklists, you'll be able to find more information on STP. We are adding to this regularly, including an STP kit that we've just uploaded for you, including this webinar, the MYOB with STP webinar, and much more to come. So make sure you keep an eye on that. So without further ado, let's head to the presentation. So this is going to be an overview, and what we'll do is just ensure that you're across everything you need to know. So I'll just share that. And there we go. So this is the first section of the STP with MYOB webinar. And in this session, just so you know, it's recorded. Obviously, this is the recorded version. We have a Q&A functionality that we used in the original presentation. Now, to ensure that we covered all the questions that were asked in the session that couldn't be answered on the spot, we have gone through today and answered those, and we will be uploading an FAQ available under the resources, along with an MYOB FAQ that's been answered by Natalie Card from MYOB, so that you guys have everything covered you need. We have Xero and QuickBooks Online sessions that are coming as well in April and beyond, so keep an eye out for those and register. And also, everyone who registered would have received an email with an MYOB partner offer, which will allow you to sign up as an MYOB partner for free and also take advantage of that partner offer. So keep an eye out for that if you haven't already. So what resources have we developed at AAT for you? We've got the STP kit, which this PowerPoint is a summary of. So make sure you dive in and have a look at the STP kit. There's a lot of juicy information there about everything you need, including compliance information, how to register with the ATO, and much more. We've developed a micro business STP kit so that bookkeepers and BAS agents can run training sessions in their local communities. This will be released online in the next few weeks. We've got a client-facing one-pager that you'll be able to send out to your clients to help explain the transition. Authority forms, in case you're doing the payroll on behalf of any clients, you'll need to be authorized. We've got links to the payroll software information and support articles. And also keep in mind, we run a monthly tech talk on the last Thursday of each month and send out a newsletter to our members with really important and useful information. So if you're not already a member, make sure you inquire and sign up so that you can take advantage of all the resources that we create. So let's have a look at an overview of what STP is firstly. So in summary, STP, or single touch payroll, is a method of sending tax and super info to the ATO from your payroll software, such as MYOB, Xero, QuickBooks, for example, every time you pay employees. And in STP, the ATO refer to each pay runs payment as a pay event. So if you hear the term pay event, that is simply a pay run. Employers with 20+ employees should already be reporting to the ATO as of last year in July. And as of the 1st of July 2019, employers with 19 or less employees should be reporting through STP. So what are the options when you're reporting through STP? There are three main methods, the first of which is reporting through the employer's payroll software. So once again, this could be the popular choices like MYOB, Xero, or QuickBooks Online. And you've registered through the software, which we're running webinars on how to do that. And once you've registered and you've signed up so that you can send data to the ATO, you can then report each pay event directly to the ATO when processing a pay run. Another option is using a third party to report on your behalf. Now, any BAS agents watching this, we are third parties. So that means you can be authorized with one of the authority forms on our website by the client, and you can then report on their behalf, which is definitely going to be a popular option here. Another option is low-cost STP solutions. The ATO have basically asked all key software developers to build low to no-cost STP solutions. They've asked that these retail around $10 or less, and that they're designed for micro employers. We've got a list of low-cost options below, which you can find in the STP kit as well. When do you need to report? Within a day of payment is the term. Basically, the ATO specify within a day of payment means the day before or on the date of payment, to be specific. Small employers can start reporting anytime from the 1st of July up to the 30th of September. So that's the micro businesses. Deferrals will be granted to any small employer who requests additional time. So if you have a small business or employees that need additional time, they're not quite ready to get reporting through STP, make sure you lodge a deferral form. We've included that link once again in the STP kit. The ATO Commissioner advised there'll be no penalties for mistakes, missed or late reports in the first year, after which penalties may be attracted. STP exemptions will of course be provided for employers that are experiencing hardship or issues with their internet connection. So let's talk about MyGut now. MyGut is going to be a key piece moving forward, so it's definitely something to get familiar with. If you haven't used MyGut before, the website is an Australian government initiative where they've integrated all of their key online services into one portal to make things a bit simpler, so you don't have to go to multiple websites. Now, it's free to use and it will be the new home for employees. So instead of payment summaries being emailed to your employees, you'll be able to lodge what's called an income statement. So in the software, you'll process each pay run. At the end of the year, you'll have a final declaration that will be lodged through the software, after which the employees can view their income statement under their My Tax section, and this will show then as tax ready. It's important to note that any RESC or FBT amounts need to go through the pay runs or a final declaration in STP, depending on the software. Otherwise, payment summaries will need to be sent manually. That's because that data wouldn't be on the payment summary if you haven't entered it in. And we've got the homepage down there for MyGov. There's quite a lot of existing information on how to sign up and what to do. It's very simple. Just ensure that you're familiar with it in case you get any questions. So just to focus here on deferrals again, there's leniency for single touch payroll when involving micro employers. That is, employers of 1 to 4 employees. And this is to ease the strain caused by this change in legislation. If you do need a deferral for an employer of less than 20 employees, use the deferral form. And this is in the STP kit once again. So have a look and get that deferral form if needed. Now, there are 2 types of authority forms, and we've created both available for our members. The annual authority is designed for simplicity and to avoid that repeated authority that you may require. When STP was first announced, the ATO advised every single pay event would need to be authorized. After lobbying, they came out with an annual option. And so if you've got an annual authority signed and kept on premises, you are able to simply get that authority once a year. Now, to use the annual authority, you do need to fulfill the eligibility criteria that the ATO has laid out, which includes not having any overdue activity statements, debts with the ATO unless they're under a payment arrangement. The employer can't have been subject to ATO compliance activity for PAYG withholding within the last 2 years, and company directors must not have been issued with a DPN or director penalty notice. So what opportunities are there for you as a bookkeeper or BAS agent processing payroll out there for your clients? There's a lot of change, but what's in it for you? Well, firstly, there'll be a lot of desktop clients now needing an STP solution. especially with MYOB, given that their desktop software will no longer have support on version 19 from September 2019. So it's a great opportunity for you to move people to the cloud and also guide anyone that you might not be working with through this process for a fee. Another great opportunity is just to be seen as an industry expert and adding that trust to your existing client base. Lastly, new payroll clients will come along because they'll want this outsourced. So if you're providing information and showing yourself as a trusted person that understands STP, you will have clients that want to outsource this work to you. So let's summarize today's session. Firstly, access the resources that we've designed for you on the AAT site. Once again, this is under the member resources section. And if you need to recap, you can see that at the start of this session. Ensure that you've been authorized with the ATO on behalf of your clients. So you can do this via Access Manager, or you can call up the ATO with the employer present and be authorized. If you're already a BAS agent, you will be authorized to speak on behalf of the client in terms of payroll. However, if you're not already on the portal, you don't already have this client on your portal, you're going to need to be authorized at the STP level with the ATO. Advise clients of upcoming changes to payment summaries. As we discussed, they'll now be called an income statement, which is visible under My Tax on MyGut. Ensure you've got authority gained for each pay event, whether annual or individual, depending on whether they fulfill that eligibility criteria. So now we've covered off the slides. I said that we'd go through some of the questions that we had, and so we've answered those. So now I can show them to you. So I'll just share that page and run you through that. So here we go. So let's just zoom in a bit on this. Great. So let's go through some of the key ones here that I had a lot of people ask about on the day. So firstly, one was, if I'm away or on holiday or I process a client's payroll in bulk, what are my options? Realistically, every person processing payroll with single touch payroll will need to ensure that pay events are reported the day before or on the day. So this is a good time to prepare for such events that you're aware of that may be coming up. You may need to train someone in the business to handle the payroll while you're away, or have someone step in, like a colleague or an employee. Another question that was really people were curious about, so just to reiterate, when does each pay event need to be reported by? The ATO have stipulated that pay events must be reported on the day of or the day before payment is made for that pay run. Let's go down to another one that a lot of people have asked about. So what kind of penalties apply for late lodgements? Look, the penalties haven't really been defined clearly on the ATO website. However, the ATO have advised, this is in their writing, if you continue to miss reports, you may be subject to failure to lodge penalties beyond the first year of reporting. So they will provide leniency in the first year, but come July 2020, you'll need to make sure that STP is running smoothly. Another one here that was popular, will I still need to lodge MDUP files? No, you do not need to anymore. Thankfully with STP, once you've made the final declaration in the payroll software, the information is then available in MyGut for that employee. So there's no need for you to lodge an MDUP as the ATO already have that data. Multiple pay schedules. This will not affect STP. You can still run multiple pay schedules. However, keep in mind each pay date will need to be reported. So if you're doing weekly, fortnightly, and monthly, every one of those pay dates, you'll need to report the pay event for, either the day before or on the day of payment. Another one here, does STP change payment schedules for PAYG or super? No, it doesn't. STP is simply reporting the tax and super information to the ATO. It's not going to change your payment schedules for any liabilities. When is the final DEC due for STP each year? Good question, this one. STP final declaration will be due by the 14th of July each year, to clarify. However, the ATO is giving employers who start STP reporting in the 18-19 year until the 31st of July 2019 for the first year. So anyone who's started reporting this year, you'll get leniency to report by the 31st of July, after which it's going to need to be within the standard timeframes of 14. Can I register an employer for STP now but wait until the 1st of July to lodge? Yes, you can. Registrations are open. You can register. You can set up the software prepared. However, you don't need to lodge straight away. Just ensure it's by the 1st of July. You can still issue manual payment summaries as well. Great. So we've covered off quite a few questions there. I might just finish by sharing once again this one here. So this is the AAT website. Once again, go to member resources, and under templates and checklists, you'll be able to view all this STP data, including today's webinar. Hope that's been really insightful for you. Make sure you check out the MYOB webinar recording as well by Natalie Card, and keep an eye out for the upcoming Xero and QuickBooks Online events.